What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Satoshi here, and welcome back to another series of videos. In this videos, I'm going to cover the endgame mechanics and team composition for hard Moringponia party version. But first things first, I do want to shout out to Louise as well as his or her party from the Tesla server for making this video guide possible. Every single clip that you see in these videos belong to the groups. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the team composition. Starting with the party, your party need at least one tanker, 2 or 3 DPS, and 1 or 2 healers. The healer build must include Oracle, Priest, and Deputies. This is the most standard healing builds for clerics, which offer a lot of utilities as well as defensive mechanics against the majority of Moringponia and Tantalizer attacks. Any tanker would be fine as long as its Swordsman's build has Terresta. As for the TPS builds, Edo Toilet Towers, Pyromancer, or mmorpg should be strong enough to take on Moringponia as well as Tantalizer. To start and claim hard Moringponia party version, your party need at least one equipment with plus 16s and above beside the armor itself, at least one type of special arc like Thunderbolt, Storm, or Divine Retribution. Just like the easy and normal Moringponia raid, you start off killing the mod minions and then transition into preparation state to fight Tantalizer. However, you will be fighting Tantalizer this time, but instead, your party will be talking to the Cornermaster Master NPC to prepare the orbs for the mechanics. There are 5 different auto magic available, which include Remove Mutants, Raise Immunes, Remove Purification, Steal Buffs, and Target Set. Your party should be picking up 2 Remove Mutant Orbs, 1 Purification, 1 Steal Buffs, and 1 Target Set. Your party tanker should be picking up the Steal Buffs, which require to remove Tantalizer Magic Barrier that reduce incoming damage. Either your DPS or healer should be picking up the Mutant Orb to remove the mutation mechanics. Keep in mind that Moringponia will not turn your tanker into a mod, so you don't have to worry about removing the mutation for your tankers. As for the Purification Orb, your DPS should be picking up to remove the Purification for the swap mechanic. And lastly, the healer should be picking up the target set orb to deal with the wash mechanics. The orb switch the wash mechanic target to the orb user, which enable the healer to catch the wash mechanic with Deputy Statue. Keep in mind that a wash mechanic happens every 75 seconds, so make sure to have a timer available to build the statue before the wash happens. The orb interaction works exactly like the healer circle, so make sure you practice using the orb first before fighting hard Moringponia. I also recommend using exclamation mark to set a message about your character. This strategy is super useful to identify which user should be using the mutation orb during the mutation mechanics or the purification orb during the swap mechanic. There is one more mechanic that your party need to worry about, and that is going to be the catcher, poison immunity stack, and purification stone on top and bottom. The stone loses stack over time, and your catcher can refill the stone with poison immunity stack. I recommend setting on top of the stones at 20 stack to instantly refill the stone all the way up to 30. Do not stay on the circle forever because it will continue to absorb your poison stack. Once your catcher loses all the stacks, they will start taking a ton of poison damage over time. However, the poison damage will only occur right after the stone reaches down to 0 or disappear at 20% HP for Moringponia. So make sure to plan it out who's going to refill the stone. Also, here is the list of hard Moringponia mechanics, so feel free to pause the video to take a look and memorize the hard Moringponia mechanic threshold. The rest of the video will focus on these mechanics. After your party is done with the preparations, go ahead and talk to Cornermaster Master NPC again and choose the last option to start a fight with Moringponia. The first mechanic is going to happen at 97.99% and that is mutation and then race. I recommend cleansing your mutation partner first, deal with the race mechanics, and have your partner use mutation orb to cleanse and end the mutation mechanic. Moringponia will summon Gibbous minion at 94.99% HP. These guys are pretty annoying because they spawn mini Gibbous after you kill the large one. The mini Gibbous cause poison explosion upon death, so make sure to move away before it happens. At 92.99%, Moringponia will summon a retest wards with blind effect, locate the plant and kill it immediately before the timer runs out. Failing to kill the retest wards will cause an explosion, dealing a ton of damage but also take away your catcher poison stack. Moringponia will start the swap mechanics and then follow up with the race mechanics at 89.99%. Prepare the purification orb to remove the swap marks and then stay on the left for the race mechanics. Once again, any failed mechanic will take away your character poison stack. The curse mechanic is going to happen at 84.99%. You must pass the curse around 5 times to bypass the curse mechanic. However, if your party has a Shadowmancer, your party can also bypass the curse mechanics with the Shadowmancer Shadow Pull skill. Keep in mind that failing the curse mechanics or walking outside the curse mechanics will result in one-shotting the whole party, but you also lose the poison stack as well. Here is the screenshot of how to pass the curse mechanic around. If you have the curse mechanic, stand near the circle, do not walk outside until another player is stand right next to you. This way you can pass the curse mechanic and you have to pass it up to 5 times in order to bypass the curse mechanic. Mutation swap will happen at 82.99% HP. The mutation mechanic is going to happen first and then follow up with the swap. Communication is the key here, so make sure to let the player with the purification orb knows who's getting swapped into the middle. Tantalizer will spawn at 79.99% and the watch mechanics will happen at the same time. The healer with the watch orb should build a statue ahead of time and be prepared to cast the watch mechanic. The tanker should prepare the steel buff orb to take away Tantalizer defense buff. By the time Tantalizer HP drop down to 85%, he will start using the ultimate orb attack. Tantalizer will use one-shot mechanic if he managed to get enough orbs, so prevent that from happening as much as possible. Also, keep Moringponia HP above 70% and Tantalizer HP above 71%. After taking down Tantalizer for the first time, your party has 90 seconds to take down Moringponia HPs to 64.99%. Moringponia will trigger a flight skill which reduces the purifying stones down to 1 if your party fails your DPS. The next mechanic is Blind and Mutation at 67.99% HP. Make sure your party goes through the watch mechanic first before starting these two mechanics. Deal with the mutation first and then take down the plant after. Most party fail this part due to the watch mechanics. The BS race is another reason why most party fail this part of the mechanics. It is important that you keep the Moringponia HP above 70% while taking down Tantalizer HP down to 71%. This will save the party a lot of time to deal with the mechanics and then follow up to take down Moringponia HP. Tantalizer will spawn again at 64.99% HP. He also applied polarity buffs which cause opposite color, red and blue, to take damage, but also taking away poison immunity stack. Make sure to stay close to the players with the same polarity. The tanker is not affected by this mechanic. Make sure to keep Moringponia HP above 55% and Tantalizer HP around 42% before taking down Tantalizer for the second time. Another curse mechanic happened at 52.99% and then follow up with a race mechanic. Usually your party will pass the curse mechanic front time first and then deal with the race mechanic afterward. However, that is not needed if your party has a Shadowmancer. Tantalizer will come back again for the last time at 49.99% HP. There is no more watch mechanic at this point until 29.99%. Gibbons will continue to spawn and your goal is to keep Moringponia HP above 30% and kill Tantalizer. Tantalizer will perform the ultimate attack again at 20% HP. There is no more Tantalizer mechanic at this point, so take him down as soon as possible. And there we go, you finally managed to kill Tantalizer. Now you just need to deal with the hard Moringponia. Moringponia will go into frenzy mode and she will use the stun attack every 30 seconds. Make sure that your healer use prophecy most of the time to prevent the stun attack, otherwise it will be deadly for the upcoming mechanic. Mutation swap and race on the right will happen at 27.98% HP. Make sure that your party already dealt with the watch mechanics. Moringponia will use mutation first, swap second, and then follow up with the race on the right mechanic. Communication is the key here. Make sure to communicate with your party to deal with mutation first and then deal with the swap mechanic after. Race on the right should not be a problem, but the majority of the party that fail this mechanic, it usually had to do with the mutation and then the swap. Moringponia removed the purification stone at 19.99% HP. Curse and then race on the left will happen at the same time. The curse mechanic will happen first and then follow up with the race mechanic on the left. Once again, Shadowmancer class is super useful for the curse mechanics. If your party doesn't have Shadowmancer, I'd recommend passing the curse once, do the race mechanics, and then finish off the curse. Blind mutation swap mechanic happened at 9.99% HP. Do not start the mechanic until your party already dealt with the watch mechanics. Anything can happen at this point, so keep the watch mechanic off the table as much as possible. In this situation, do the mutation and swap mechanic first. There is no need to rush to deal with the blind mechanic. The blind monster will be available long enough for the party to take care of the mutation and the swap mechanic. The next mechanic is going to be Curse and Race mechanic at the center at 8.99%. And just like the previous Curse and Race mechanic, take care of the Curse mechanics first with Shadowmancer class or pass it on to another player, deal with the Race mechanic, and then finish off with the Curse. Make sure to clear the watch first. And with that, there is no more mechanic at this point, but keep your eyes on Moringponia by the way, because she still have the stun skill, and make sure your Oracle has prophecy on all the time. Poison damage is also taking it as well, so keep healing. And congratulations, your party managed to clear the hard Moringponia party version. Well, that is pretty much for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this type of content, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel to keep yourself updated with more 3 of Saber content. This is Satoshi once again, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.